Good evening. Welcome to another episode of A Contagious Smile. Unstoppable. I have my very handsome, sexy husband who's over here looking at me with that unbelievably sweet smile. Sorry, ladies, he is completely off the market. Hi, honey.
Howdy, y'all.
What's happening?
Just, I was on the throne a while ago and
Oh my God. Here we go again.
flipping through Flip, if I can say that. Used to be,
Flipping through flip.
right, it used to be TikTok. All men do it. Just ask anybody.
That's why y'all have hemorrhoids. It's from straining too hard on the toilet.
We're
It's
not straining at all.
because you are
We take our
focused
time.
on the phone, not the toilet, and then
That's
y'all
right.
get
We take our time
strained.
now. We should have less
Oh my
hemorrhoids.
God, no. No,
Will you silence your phone?
no.
I'm on air.
You're hilarious. Oh, you're hilarious.
Rolling out the podcast academy here.
Whoop whoop.
My wife has diligently been going through a ton of graphics, media. Her little right hand is wore out. It's 1,000 miles an hour typing out these courses. She's got such professional courses in there, y'all. Don't be alarmed if they're like $5,000. They probably won't be, but
They're not.
they're
I want them
super
to be
professional.
economically available for all. Because so many courses and classes people want to take, and they're outrageously expensive and unattainable. So I want to make it where they can take these classes and learn. I mean, I can't even imagine the figure of how much I spent in classes and courses to figure out how to get us to the followers and numbers that we have. So I'm bringing my knowledge to our own podcast academy. Everybody can join free. Then they get access to a member portal where you can network and meet others. Then also there's a resource library. You've checked out the resource library. What do you think of it?
It's phenomenal, just phenomenal.
What's in there? Tell us about what's in there.
Oh my God, there's so much. I can't go through everything that's in
No,
there.
just summarize. Like,
It's
what did you
it's
see?
it's extremely professional. It's eye catching. It's not boring at all. It's set up similar to what you would expect the class to be set up. Like you want to take an online course, but it's different. Um, I just think everything is very professional and easy for me to read, and I'm not a very educated guy.
Oh, Lord. But this is the resource library feature is free for everybody who joins, and you can go in there and it gives you unknown little tidbits, which is great. My husband was like, these should be classes, but they're out there for everybody. They're like little nuggets. And then I even have, or we have a discovery section, which we put out a tip of the day, and it's really cool little nuggets of information. Once you're a member, you can come in there and put in a tip of the day too, and leave information and words of wisdom, kind of network once we get this up and going from all the other members, which is great. And then we're going to have a variety of classes. My hope is to launch and then have at least one new class a week is my hope in adding. Right now, I was hoping that when we went live, we would have maybe 8 classes. I think as of right now, we're up to 12 or 13.
Okay, so our podcast has been in the as far as
Our three podcasts
listing scores
are three.
have been in the top 5%,
The
3%, 2%, and the top 1% globally of the most listened to podcasts. Okay, why does your podcast suck? I'm asking you as the audience. Why does your podcast suck?
say it sucks. No, hold
No,
on. I wouldn't say
I'm
it
asking
sucks.
them.
I would say that maybe they have
Why?
not learned
Why is it not growing?
because they haven't learned all the ins and outs and features that they can utilize that
Okay.
are out there.
So a lot of these courses, a lot of these classes that my wife has put together are specifically geared towards podcasting and,
Or social media growth of your footprint, online branding.
and
Um,
increasing your following, your content, everything you do on there.
and then I even did Facebook Mastery, which I'm gonna get specific for each platform. and you can get on there. I did also create a course for What's Up app.
What's up?
What's up? And
It's
that
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp.
It,
See,
you're-
I'm tired. Okay, hold on. I had an hour of sleep last night. You can go on there right now, and it's WhatsApp is correct. But I had one. Hold on.
WhatsApp.
In my defense, I've had 1 hour of sleep. We're in a massive spring cleaning here, and I have surgery in like 72 hours. So I have a lot going on. I apologize for the inaccurate name that I stated. My apologies.
It's okay. I'll forgive you.
Thank you.
It's a reference off of the movie Scream.
Which I've never seen.
Of course you have it.
Of course I haven't. Of course not.
So that being said, y'all get ready to get on there and get some gold, get some nuggets. Um,
Everybody has said that I'm pricing it way too low.
I think so, but y'all, if y'all don't get on there uh,
For soft.
first off,
Right,
then the prices only go up. Y'all know how inflation works, and
but I want to make it economically feasible for everybody. I don't want somebody who really has their heart into it and can't afford it not to get that information. Because now hold on, some classes out there range from, I've seen them
five
anywhere from
hundred.
500 to $7,000. And I was like, what? And in all fairness, no disrespect to any of those course creators, but like the ones that were several $1,000s, I've never heard of them. And
Yeah,
that doesn't mean anything. I mean, I'm just a drop in the bucket myself, but I'm just saying I had never heard of them and they were charging $7,000 and they didn't have a podcast where we do. You know what I mean? Like I'm not tooting our horn. I'm saying this is not like I'm taking a class from Ronald Reagan on how to be a president, right?
right.
Like I don't know who they are. They don't have a podcast in that top percent like we do, but we're doing it at like a fraction, and I mean a fraction. Some of the courses are like most of them are $24. There's like one or two that's a little more than that, and the information alone is worth 10 times that, if not more.
So if Ronald Reagan was to
I
give a
want to take his
class
class. I would want to take his class so
on how to
fast.
be a president
Yeah.
because he did it, he was successful at
He
it.
was amazing. I think he was one of our best presidents. I know I'll get some crap for that.
So, folks, if y'all see our numbers, if you see our views, if you see our listens, our downloads, the numbers speak for themselves.
Yeah, and
Okay.
they're actually, I have referenced a lot of our numbers, not trying, like I said, to toot our own horn, but when I have taken classes, you want the reputation, right? So when I go in there at, like when I've taken classes at Stanford or John Hopkins, Harvard, I have that reputation of that university or institution that makes me feel comfortable and successful, right? Because I know I'm learning from, in that category,
Right.
the best. So when I go in here and you pull up one of the courses, I show that we're not full of fluff, right? I show in there that we are in the top 1% globally. I show our numbers. I show that, on average, we get anywhere from 2 to 4 million, views on things on TikTok. Like I show our numbers so that there's no question on where we are. Don't you think Ronald Reagan was one of the top 5 best presidents ever?
Hell yeah.
I mean,
I
seriously.
liked him and Nancy.
Oh, she's one of my favorite first ladies we ever had in office. She was just like, she'd be like a grandma you just want to sit with,
Yes.
Like, and they had the best love story. Such a romantic love story they had.
Mm.
Kind of like us.
Kind of like us.
Yeah, we have a great love
We have our
story.
own unique.
I know. And everybody loves our love
And let's not talk about it
story.
now
Why?
because it's
Because
mushy.
why? It is not. It is not. So let me ask you a question then. You might want to go back to our love story here in a minute. Uh, what are your thoughts on the fact that, what?
Go ahead.
That it is now certain states in our country allow children, and I say that, children, to start taking hormone blockers and to stop puberty if they want to transition from one gender to another. Now, forget the fact for just a minute that Trump signed into law that we only recognize two genders, male and female. So that's into law. Of course, people are now stating, well, he said male and female, and a boy and a girl really aren't there because they're pubescent. So because they haven't been through puberty, that doesn't categorize as right. Of course, somebody's going to come out of that with their words out their ass. But what I'm saying is, how do you feel about a child going through and the parents saying, okay, let's go get, hormone blockers. Let's stop your puberty. Let's do this to help you trans over. Or even worse, that if it's a girl and they say, "Hey, I'll go let you get your breast cut off. I'll go let you get a castration to help you genderize over to the other side." I mean, how do you feel about that the fact that these kids are given that kind of power with the consent of their parent and doctor now?
I'm not that, as I put it earlier, educated. So I don't know the scientific ins and outs of puberty. As far as what constitutes puberty, hair, facial hair, body hair, changing of your voice,
Well, we're born with
lumps on
chromosomes, right?
bigger lumps on your chest.
I mean, you're born either one way chromosomes or the other way chromosomes, right?
Right.
And you can take all the beta blockers, I mean beta blockers. You can take all the chromosome blockers you want. You can have transgender surgery, you can have radical surgery done on your body, but at the end of the day, a man can't become a woman. Like, you can do things that make your voice higher. You can dress as a woman. You could do these things, but can you give birth? No. And transgender people are saying, well, I get PMS. Men get PMS. It is medically proven that men get PMS. They get moody.
I get PMS when you wake me up early.
But what I'm saying is, you cannot give birth. You cannot give birth if you trans into a woman. So, and then the argument back has been like, well, you know, I just have the right to be who I want to be. Absolutely, you do. But the fact that we're so cautious over offending somebody with saying their wrong pronoun versus the fact that we are mentally disrupting the growth of a child, which is going to be harmful because this stuff is irreversible down the road. Why are we more concerned about hurting their feelings by saying I meant to call you they them? There's one of you. I'm not seeing double. I don't need to get my eyes checked. You know, I have no problem, and everybody who knows me knows I strongly support the LGBTQ community. I mean, we have family that's in that community. We have friends that are in that community, but I don't agree, and a lot of people I know that's in the community also don't agree with the whole pronoun thing. I mean, that's kind of like they, them. How do you say that respectfully? Like, hey, how are they doing? And you're looking at one person, right? I mean, so if I wanted to put on like a blonde wig and a sombrero, can I say that I'm now of the Mexican culture? Can I say that with authenticity? Can I say I identify now as a Latino? Can I get away with that? No. So how can you put on a dress and all of a sudden demand that you with a penis can go into a locker room with our kids and get undressed in front of our kids before these kids have even had the talk or know what it is, and then think that that's okay? I mean, kids now are sexually active in fifth grade, and middle school kids are being treated for STDs. I must be like the biggest prude. I went through all my school without giving it up. And that's personal preference. That's my choice. I'm just saying, my husband's giving me this look. I'm just saying.
So let me put it in a different perspective,
Sure.
if you don't mind. This is redneck.
Okay.
Okay. A lot of y'all know that I was a law enforcement for 13 and a half years. Okay. I pulled over multiple civilians that claim to be of the sovereign nation. Okay.
Yeah.
If you are a sovereign citizen, then in your community, in your mind, in your preaching, doctrine, whatever, you see that it is not a need for you as a sovereign citizen to have or to obtain a state driver's license. Okay? Because it is so-called your God-given right to drive anywhere, and you don't have to be documented and have a license. So, you see how that correlates with transgender or whatever,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
Just because in your mind you think you don't have to have this doesn't mean it's not against the law, right? That it's not right. I have to go get my driver's license so that I don't go to jail, so that if God forbid there was an accident happen, they can have my license and all the documented information, and that our insurance companies can take care of things. If I don't have a license, I can't get insurance. So it's just not right. You throw on a sombrero, you throw on a dress or a wig. You said a blonde wig. My wife's a gorgeous redhead, by the way. If she went blonde, I think I'd just move to Florida. I don't know. No, I wouldn't leave her.
You would move to Florida?
No, I'm just kidding.
You told me you were never ever going
Darling,
back to
darling,
Florida
calm down, calm down,
again.
calm down.
Florida.
We do have a situation in Florida.
Yeah, we can talk about that in a minute.
Eh,
Come on.
rather not.
Why? We have a stalker or another
We have
stalker.
two stalkers.
We have a few. Yeah.
Well,
And
since
that
you
needs
brought it,
clarity anyway. That needs clarity anyway.
since you brought it
Go
up,
ahead.
for the cyber stalker out there, if you're listening,
Which we know they are. See, I did the thing.
you do not need to come to me and apologize to me first.
I like to talk about that because I'm getting the
It's
ridicule of
not
it.
me that you hurt and offended first. It's these two lovely, lovely redheaded ladies here. And our child is a lady.
But it's being put out there that it's on me. How do you
Yes,
feel
yes,
about
yeah, I
that?
forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So, how do you feel about that?
you know how I feel about that.
Here's the thing. You have a gorgeous girl who literally was at death's door, right? We were told they could make her comfortable and she could pass. Everybody knew. Your little cyber stalker knew. My cyber stalker knew. And
Yeah.
I don't care if they put it out on their social media. Okay. I don't care if they blow smoke signals out of their anal cavity, right? Neither one reached out to us about their grandchild on full life support.
That's not being very specific.
I could be a whole lot more specific. On life support, organ failure, coding. We and you and I are such big-hearted open people when it comes to that. Nobody reached out in a text or an email or anything like that. Like I don't care if they didn't reach out when I became amputated. I know
Well,
you were pissed.
Victoria, was the information put out there?
Yes, yes, it was
Yes.
on many, many, many places.
I did daily post, y'all.
Right. I don't care that they didn't reach out when I became amputated, but the smart mouth of saying, "Oh, well, they didn't call me either. They could have used their one hand," is, a little ridiculous. But it's not about me. It's about our beautiful daughter. The fact that nobody reached out about that, right? And the fact that when another member of the family got hurt, we were like, what do you need? We were sending stuff down, everything else. And it's not about a comparison. It's not that at all. But this person is older in age and cussed out our kid. And everything in the text messages is showing extreme narcissistic behavior. You yourself said that. And the fact it's all I forgive, da da da, me. It's all about them. But not once in any of the text messages, and you pointed that out, was there anything about, I'm so glad Faith is doing well. Or, I wonder how they would feel if I reached out. Would it be okay? Or, you know, all this has happened to that beautiful little girl. I need to make things right. Or congratulations on making the adoption formal and official. None of that was said. Everything was pity party here, me, I did this, I'm the victim, this is victim blaming, blah, 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 right? And what's ironic is I even said on air that I would never tell you not to speak to these people,
Correct.
right? And I wouldn't. I wouldn't. You know me. I'm not going to say that. Now, Faith, on the other hand, is like spitfire pissed, justifiably.
She has a right to
She
be.
has every right to be.
I mean,
Every right.
hell, y'all fail to understand the fight in this girl and what she went through, what she had to endure. I mean, there was so many damn doctors come in there, and they just kept taking, a femur here, a ligament here, half her brain here.
I didn't
What?
take her brain.
Oh, she has a brain. Don't tell her I said that.
She didn't take after your mother.
But what I'm saying is, at one point she said, "How much more
Can I take?
do I have to give?
And how much more
How
can I
much,
take?
much, right?" And I mean, folks, they took out a lot of her insides just so that she could survive and
And they
live.
left her wide open for the
And
longest time. She was so weak they couldn't take her down to the OR. They had to do it at bedside. And
I,
we
I,
were
I lost
reporting
count
this.
after 11 codes. Okay,
Right.
if y'all don't know what codes means, look it up.
She stopped breathing. She had to be resuscitated. She was on full life support. She had PIC lines and Breviac lines. She had central lines. She had, I think at one time we counted over 50 different IVs and tubes connected to her, including ventilator, including dialysis, everything. We were starting the process for organ transplant for me to donate my kidney. I mean, this is where it was. And I mean, you and I cried multiple times every day. We didn't leave her side. And not to even say anything about that. That to me, and I'm not saying it just about your cyber stalker, I'm saying it
Right.
in general. It's going to come back that I said this specifically about your cyber stalker, and I'm not saying it about that in general. I'm saying it overall. Any person, place, or thing that can know that a child is laying in the ICU having surgery at bedside because they're too fragile to go down to the OR in the hospital they're in on multi organ failure, kidney dialysis, thinking of having to go to a transplant, all of these other factors, coding daily, having all of this done, being in a medical coma, being on a ventilator, and being part of your family, and you can't say a word, you can't send a text, nothing. That to me, what does that make that to you?
Well, let me tell you, this little girl of ours, y'all know we're speaking about our daughter, Faith. Even though things like this have happened, and it seems like it's continued to happen, she still has the biggest heart and reaches out to family members, trying to get them to come back in her life, because
Not all family members.
not all.
She's not reaching out
I
to
said I
all.
said some.
Okay.
She wants that needed family member that she never had. Just like me in her life. She'd never had a.
But what do you think of someone who just can't even reach out when it's a child involved and this is where they are? How do you summarize that person?
They just need to get their head out of their ass. Are you looking at yourself too much, or are you not looking at your other family members? There's more than just those that live around you.
Right. But see, the whole thing is that hindsight, I have talked to somebody about this, and what's so funny is that this cyber person did a podcast with me, and I did not release it because of the sheer fact that she trampled all over one of your exes. She trampled our other two kids. She was heartless, and I didn't put it out because I don't, even though they'd be furious with her, I don't want to hurt other people. I
Mhm.
don't want to hurt, even though it's your ex, I don't want to hurt her because they're the biological mother.
Correct.
I don't want to hurt those kids. I love those kids. You know, I love those kids. So I can't do it. I cannot do it. I won't do it. Right. When somebody made a phone call and then accused us of making that phone call, you know, and won't take accountability, but then has them come down, as much as she talks about not only the mother, but badmouth her own grandkids, it's ridiculous. And at the end of the day, she blames us and says we're the ones who did it, and we're not. Right. And I have the proof, but I won't do it because I cannot. And you heard it. You actually heard it. You actually heard the podcast where she admits all this, and still we're the ones put through the mud. I mean, that just blows my mind, right? And at the end of the day, we're the ones being put to blame to everybody else when we didn't do anything.
As y'all already surmised, we are the black sheep.
Amen. But that's what, and she's going around blaming it all on me. I mean, she even went so far as to post that she wished your first one was your current one.
Did
Sorry.
I read that?
Yeah, I showed it to you.
I
You told
don't
me you
remember.
wanted to vomit. Remember, you're like, I'm going to throw up my
Oh,
dinner.
it's probably why you had that nightmare.
Don't even talk about that. That was that. Seriously, that was disgusting. And the thing is that when I found out about your first, I immediately ended our relationship because I didn't know about her. And it was just out of a respectful thing. But I'm the bad one because I'm the mistress. But I wasn't the mistress because the mistress has knowledge that they are the other woman. And I did not know, but portrayed as I did.
No, that was my fault.
And I'm just saying, it's not fair that we are like how do you describe that? Like they're throwing all of it on us so that they stay clean and we're the
With the Patsy.
yes, thank you. And it's like it's not right.
It's all right. We got us.
I'm happy with our little quietness, no frills family.
Y'all gonna find this funny or sad. I really don't care which one, but our Christmas dinner
Oh, it was fabulous.
was myself, my gorgeous redheaded sexy wife, my sassy saucy daughter, and Waffle House. That's right, folks, Waffle House. We went to good old American fashion Waffle House.
Yep. I think I had just, no, I was post-op from surgery. Go figure. Something new, right? And you didn't want to do a big thing. We did a pretty big dinner for us, three of us for Thanksgiving because I was pre-op at that point. And so you decided, hey, we told Faith, hey, what do you want to do? And she's like, I want Waffle House. So first time I've ever had Christmas at Waffle House, but we did
And it
it.
was packed.
It was packed.
Come on now,
It
packed.
it was.
So we might make that our tradition.
That was hilarious.
It
I mean,
was.
and it was fun. And then we came back and
No
we,
mess, no cleanup, no
no,
drama.
we don't have drama. In all fairness, we don't have drama amongst us in our
We
family.
don't.
We don't. And it's
We got drama with one of my dogs.
wonderful. That's your dog. That ain't my dog.
He's yeah. Anybody want a dog?
A dog. But I mean, it's so nice. Would you rather have it's not even really a family. Would you rather have bodies and lots of numbers of bodies or a family of unconditional love and respect? And it's the quantity, not quality. I mean, it's the quality, not quantity. I'm tired.
I see that.
But I mean, where you have someone you can depend on and count on and not have to worry about. I mean, there's a lot to be said for that. I mean, we came home and I think we played either uh Uno or y'all played War. I'm trying to remember. We played games and we had hot chocolate and we played with Christmas presents and it was the best. You
Hmm.
know? We're simple folks. We don't need to go out and spend bukus of money and impress people. I mean, it's just not us. That's not who we are. And I love it.
So, having said that, and y'all hear how we talk on our podcast, get on these courses as soon as they're released. Okay, the wife's going to put them on where? Where are you going to list them?
They have their own website, but I mean, they're going to be out on everything, including in these show notes. I'll put
There you
the
go.
link. So I'm just saying, I thank you for talking about that and bringing that up because the my husband and I have no secrets from each other. We literally will say
Ah,
here, what are you laughing at?
we have no secrets.
We don't.
No, that's right. Go ahead.
So why are you laughing? What's funny about no
Go ahead.
secrets? No, because you'll forget.
I won't forget.
What
I have
is
a
it?
steel trap. I
No,
remember everything.
no. What?
So, guys, how many of y'all can give your phone to your wife? to your girlfriend, your fiance, and say, "Have at it, Hoss."
But so many times I'll be like, babe, your phone's going off. He'll go, check it. I don't want to check it, right? Like, I don't care.
Point in question the other day.
Oh, is
My
that where you were
phone,
going?
yes, my phone
That
goes
was
off.
hilarious. That was hilarious.
And I said, "Babe, can you grab that?"
I was like, no, I don't want to. And you're like, babe,
I
please.
was driving,
You were
right? Yeah.
driving. And so I said, okay, fine. And it was, I really miss
It was
you.
a text.
Right. And so I was like, I started laughing and I was like, oh, this is going to be good. And Faye's like, give me the phone. I want name, phone number, address, social security number, blah, 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 blah. And like she was cracking her knuckles in the back seat. That was hilarious. And you're like, have at it, babe. Have a good time. And I'm like,
Yeah.
and I was just like, who do you think this is?
Was I worried?
No,
Did I snatch the phone away from you?
no, but that's not the point. Ding. But I mean, that's the point. Like, you know, even Faith will say, Dad just picked up your phone. Okay, I don't care. We have each other's passwords for everything. We have each other's passwords for the phone. We don't hide anything from one another at all. And so she'll be like, Dad's got your phone. Okay, what's your point? Like, I don't care. We hide nothing from one another. And there's such a sense of what am I looking for here? It's like happiness and love and
Just a
security
complete understanding of each other. That you know, that I know, that you know,
that I know.
that we're not going to cheat, turn our back on each other, or go behind each other's back, or disrespect the other. Uh,
It's a sense of almost security, to know that,
it's yeah, something that it's like ironclad.
right,
It's set in stone with us.
right. And then, I'm like, here, but then, like, you get a text message and you're like, guess who messaged me? And okay. And then you tell me, and you're so funny about it. You're like, oh, she said she wasn't going to write me again. I'm like, well, we know that ain't going to happen. But that's the whole premise of it is like, you know, in other relationships that you and I have both had, we've always been like, we have this other person somewhere else outside of the actual relationship who is trying to demise the relationship from afar, right? And we have both been guilty of allowing outside parties, not with you and I, but with previous relationships before us, to allow that communication from outside of the relationship to dent and destroy. But you and I mean, how do you like now we don't allow it. There's like this the Great Wall of China ain't got nothing. Like it's, like we have this wonderful wall that's wrapped around the three of us and that the negativity that is dispersed from others' holes under their nose. Um, it's just, like it's a waste.
Shut your pie hole.
It's just like a waste of oxygen, It's like we've been through enough. We know that we're each other's everything and soulmate. And, I still get excited when he comes home and can't wait for him to get here. And he is like, oh, I can't wait to get home to my family. I
That's
love
right. The
being
first thing I
home.
do, I drop my bag down and walk past my daughter, my dogs, and go straight to my wife and give her a kiss on the lips and the forehead and a good old hug.
Yes. But I remember years and years and years ago when we were only friends and you would call me and be like, I got, 2 minutes. And you were so depressed and your voice, it broke my heart as your friend to hear you like so unhappy. And I love that I was able to be there for you to vent about, but it broke my heart, A, that I wasn't with you, and B, that you were treated so ridiculously by many people, not just your exes. So, I mean, it's tough when you love someone because when you really love someone, I mean, and it doesn't have to be a spouse. If you love someone, whether it's a friend, a sister, a brother, no matter who, but you have genuine care and concern and unconditional respect for that person, you never want to see that person hurt. You don't want to see that person um, unhappy. You want the best for that person. But in today's time, people drop like a freaking dime and they don't care. Oh, this will be better for me and in my benefit. To hell with them. Here we go. Like that's the mentality overall. I mean, even professionally, we've been dealing, with a couple people who have been that way. Oh, go ahead and say it. It's just all over your face. Go
I
ahead.
know.
No,
You're just gorgeous.
whatever. 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 So my husband's being amazing because we are getting ready to
Get married again? It's your turn.
yes. No, it's not. We've done this
Yes.
so many times. Okay, for the last time, and this time it'll be recorded. I
I remember.
planned our last wedding based on your 50th birthday.
Did you have to say that out loud?
50th. And we got married on your birthday together, and I even had family here for it. So, yeah, this time it's on you, not me. Just saying.
Let's see, we got married by a creek one time.
A crick,
A creek.
a waterfall.
Okay.
Where you had your damn phone. You pulled that phone out, and I thought, oh my God, here's stucco.
That was hilarious.
It was now, wasn't then.
It wasn't then.
No.
Y'all should have seen their face.
Woo! Mama got mad.
The
I-
minister's getting ready to.
Angela was like, he's like, wait, wait. And I'm going, what is he
You
doing?
take this woman, blah blah blah, and here's the ring and all this, and
And then he reaches in his back pocket for his phone while we're standing at the waterfall at like sunset. And he's reaching for his phone. He's like, I gotta do this. Hold on a second. And I'm like, I looked at him. I said, I'm gonna throw that phone in the
their
water.
jaws dropped, y'all, when
Well,
I pulled
mine's
out my
metal. It
phone.
doesn't just drop. It just kind of,
Interrupted the ceremony.
yeah. And then I just shook my head because I should have known.
Should have known.
I should have known. Yeah. But our daughter was ready to take the phone and you and put it
Oh
in the
yeah.
water, which was great. Yes. We've got married in our home.
In front of a stump one time.
Yes.
We'll
Yeah.
call it a stump.
Sure. Make fun of the amputation. No problem.
I was referring to the great oak tree.
Okay. Okay.
I seen it. They had it marked. I think they're gonna cut it down.
Uh-uh.
No. Maybe go get a piece of it. We'll
Yeah.
carve it out of a heart. There
Yeah.
you go. That's some mushy shit.
Th-
What?
See, what?
Did I ruin it? Is
Root,
rut? Is rut?
root, root. It's root. Yes. So,
Yeah.
yeah. I also wish that some people in the like this is a great topic. I wish some people in the medical industry would take into consideration for a minute that I know it's practicing medicine, right? I get that. But if you are, let's say, a veteran who has legitimate PTSD, or you have, God forbid, cancer, and you see an oncologist, or if you're an amputee, right? And your doctor does not actually know what you're physically going through, that maybe a little slack should be given to patients because some doctors these days treat patients like it's a windmill of
Right.
patients
Right.
because they just want to get them in and out, in and out. And, they get a kickback from the pharmaceutical companies and, not all, but some. And they just, it's like, okay, like people will say, here's the best thing. I had to meet with another member of one of my teams I had not met with before who had a video chat with me and said, you don't look like you're in pain. And I literally was blown away by this individual making that statement because I explained to her that, over all of my surgeries that I've had and my amputation being one and, several others, I have never been in as much pain as I'm in right now. But when you're a wife and a mother, especially a special needs mom, we hold all that in because complaining about it doesn't do a doggone thing, right? And it's in my records everywhere that I have not nor do not take any pain meds. You can say to that better than anybody.
So that must mean you're not in pain, right? Right?
Wrong.
Wrong. So there was reasons you didn't take any pain meds or anesthetic back then, and not that you build up a tolerance to pain, but you have a higher threshold.
Correct. And redheads do
Okay,
from the jump
no
already.
different than getting in the ring with Mike Tyson.
He'd bite my ear off.
You're gonna get the crap knocked out of you, and
Really?
then you're
Really?
gonna build up a tolerance.
Thank
I was
you.
watching Mike Tyson the other day.
So getting the crap knocked out of you, even though we advocate for domestic violence and
Well,
I survived
we're
it,
not on that subject.
poor choice of words. But
I'm
I'm just saying,
a redneck.
I mean,
They expect it.
right, okay. But like you have never seen me take
No
a say the word
opioid,
or narcotic. Say narcotic.
narcotic,
You almost said narc.
narc.
Narcotic.
Yes,
Okay.
NORCKES. Narcotic.
What?
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 But he's always like, "Will you please take something?" No. Please? No. Please? No. And the thing is that people just assume by looking at you that, oh, well, you must not be hurting that badly. Um, my husband will sit there and be like, your arm's having a like convulsion. Like, your arm is blood cold. Your arm is really hot. Oh, like last
It's
night.
swollen. It's tight.
Yeah, last night we were walking around and my shrinker was cutting off the circulation literally because my arm had swollen up so badly. And people just assume, oh, okay, well, you know, you
Folks,
must not be
I
in
watch her
pain.
with tears come down her, her cheeks, and her arms just spasming, and I know she's in a great deal of pain. When she's not up here on this computer for 21 hours a day, and she goes lays, gets into bed because she's trying to get comfortable. She's in so much pain. That's a bad day. She already told y'all she was up at what 3:30, 3 o'clock this
An
morning,
hour sleep,
and had went to bed at what 1:30, something like that.
something like that.
Um, this is ridiculous. So some things I wish I could change and take away. Anybody got a time machine?
What would you change?
Oh man, I tell you what, I'd go all the way back to high school. As much as I hated high school, I'd go back
Why?
because I'd get my education.
Your education. Why don't
Yes.
you just start after high school?
Hell no. I want to go back in the Air Force. Yeah.
How would we have met?
After I got out and retired.
That would have been less time I had with you.
No, it's about the same. No, we'd have more.
How do you figure?
I would have retired at 45.
But we wouldn't have had more. I had 4.5 years with you
I
before.
would have came met you.
I had 4.5 years with you before. I've had more time with you
You
now.
would change after high school?
Would I change? I'm the same person.
You would change nothing?
Oh, hell yeah, I would change. I'd change a lot.
No, okay.
But, people don't understand the paths that you're on and why you are meant to put on that specific path. But I knew the minute I locked eyes with you that you were it. I knew it. No question. And Faith knew it for you. Because she's always like, my mom told me that there was only one person who could ever be my dad, and it was Stucco. And I know, and I know, and I know, and I know.
And I'm her dad. I've
And you're
been her
on the birth
dad.
certificate.
Her dad now. I'll always be her dad.
You've always been her dad. I mean, you saw her in the NICU and you texted me, "Oh my God, I wasn't prepared for her to be as beautiful as her mother. Oh, I'll be right back." And then you gave me the emoji of a little shit. I have it. I still have it.
Of course you do.
Of course I do. I even have the pen where you wrote "I love you" for the first time back in the day. That sentimental sweetness that my grandparents instilled in me.
You're a romantic.
I am, but I suppress a lot of it because you're not.
I'm not.
You're not.
Would you like to go get romantic?
Ooh, close this out.
Thank y'all for listening to the episode of the Fake Smile podcast here with Victoria Michael. Bye. Hurry, go. Click, click, click.